Hey, this is Marilyn Gigliotti.
Hey, this is Brian O'Halloran.
Hey, everybody. My name is Scott Schiaffo, actor best known as the Chulies Gum Guy from the film Clerks.
And welcome to Clerks Minute.
You're listening to Clerks Minute.
And I'm not even supposed to be here today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Clerks Minute, the show where we break down the 1994 Kevin Smith classic one air traffic controlling minute at a time. I'm Blake.
I'm Kyle.
And we are here to break down minute number 19 of Clerks, and shit's about to get real really, really quickly. And we'll get into all that in a minute. But first things first, we're at the tail end of the Veronica Dante fight that we were talking about last minute. And she's got to get to school and storms out. And I do like the fact that they have this fight and end this fight like actual, like, okay, I'm getting out of here. I have to be somewhere. You'll cool off later. She'll hopefully be more rational later. I don't mind that.
And as she storms out, try not to suck any dick on your way through the parking lot.
By the way, so the line is funny part here. He said that, he yells that, and then that one guy walks over.
Yeah.
So in the script,
hey, you get back here.
This makes it creepier. This makes it creepier than what we saw. In the script, on the screen, it's hysterical. Because there's one guy, he's yelling at one guy, it's really funny. In the script, is that Kevin Smith has it written. Two men who are walking in opposite directions, double back, and head in that direction. What the fuck, Kevin? What the hell? Two guys? Really?
Gangbang.
Oh my God. That's just fucking crazy.
We're going into a Clockwork Orange territory here.
Oh my God. So
singing in the rain. Oh, believe me, after seeing that movie, you will never hear Singing in the Rain the same way again.
Jeez. Holy fuck. Anyway, so we go from two creepy guys to one weird guy that's just standing there in the place of Jay and Bob, who are not there at the moment, which is kind of weird that they're not standing there.
You figured they'd be there for that converation.
That would have been funnier. Yeah. That actually would have been funnier if they were standing there for that. But they're not. Their reactions would have been amazing. Just Silent Bob, this reaction would have been priceless for that moment.
And then just seeing them, and actually, it would have been funnier to actually see them both go after.
Yeah, or if Jay just left. Jay just walked away.
Although my idea would be Jay just starts to walk off, and then Bob just grabs him by the back of the shirt.
Exactly! That's straight out of the cartoon.
Yeah.
That's something they would have done in the cartoon.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking hysterical. So we come back, and the next thing we see is Randall, as it says on the screen. Even though he's not even in this minute, but his name's on the screen.
Okay, let's look up the definition here. Randall, noun, lazy, useless video store employee.
Also known as Brian Johnson. Which Randolph legitimately is based off of Brian Johnson from Comic Book Men. Totally legitimate. So, we come back inside, and we have, according to script, impatient customer. Which is exactly what it's written here in the script.
Is that what it says on his credit card?
So it's 11 o'clock at this point.
So the customer family must be huge.
Although I love how in the notes here it says he's pissed off in parentheses. I think that's pretty funny. But anyway, we're talking about the video store. Apparently, the video store is supposed to be open at 11. It's 11:20.
Yeah.
I hate people like this.
Yeah.
I absolutely hate people like this. Like, come on.
These are the same people who I think get pissed when McDonald's stops serving breakfast. Well, before
They used to, yeah.
They used to, and they come in 5 minutes after. Oh, we stopped serving breakfast.
I hated it on the weekends before they do this whole thing where they don't serve lunch until 11, but even though during the week it's 10:30.
Yeah.
Why can't it be consistent? Why can't that be consistent? I don't understand that at all.
By the way,
when you have a hungry kid in the car who wants a Happy Meal at 10:30, you want to get a Happy Meal at 10:30. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And I was going to say, if anybody here has ever seen the movie Falling Down, if you really want to have a little bit of a wish fulfillment thing with that there's a scene where Michael Douglas's character, this rather pissed off guy who's just picked up a bag of weapons, goes into a McDonald's like place called the Whammy Burger and tries to order breakfast. We stopped serving breakfast at 11:30. He gets looks at his watch, it's 11:35, and gets rather pissed off there.
I don't go around that much anymore, but when I used to go up to the comic book shop over on 60th, I do like the comic book shop. It is I don't go up there often because it's pretty far off compared to where I can go on KK. And the one on KK is a lot nicer. But anyway, when I used to go up there, I'm not going to give them a plug on the name, but I used to go up there. There would literally people, and you joke about the nerds in comic book world that are nerds.
Yeah.
This place opens at noon.
Yeah.
There would be people camped out outside at 5 minutes to 12 for the comic book store to be open. Like, what the? Really?
Well, I mean, it's reasonable to see, like, one person waiting.
No, there was, like, 10 cars.
Well, no, I was just saying, like, I'd say it would be reasonable to see one person there, maybe two.
Or an 8-person family.
Yeah.
That's legitimate. An 8-person family was waiting to get into the comic book store at 11:59. I swear this was a thing one day.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on now. This is ridiculous.
The comics are not going to get any less. It doesn't matter how fresh the comics are; they're still going to be the same story.
Yeah, or even if they come out that day, I understand. Make a pull list if you're in that much of a hurry. You know what I mean? Get a pull list. You know, they have pull lists. You could just get one comic and get out of there if you need it that badly.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I did for Darkwing for a while. I had a pull list. You know, it's like not that big of a deal. But anyway, back to our impatient customer who wants to return a video. Why is there no Dropbox at this video store? I just thought about it.
They were too cheap to put one in.
Yeah, I just thought about that. I'm like, there's no Dropbox or anything like any other store, because even at even in my hometown, we had this cheap mom and pop video store that had a Dropbox. That's why it was weird. I don't know.
Hell, even Family Video, the one in here actually has a Dropbox.
Yeah, because I always think it's more convenient. You know, it's a lot more convenient to me. I mean, I'm not asking for the fancy one like at the library where you get to scan your barcodes. I'm not talking about that. But at least Dropbox it in so when they get there, you can just scan it in. You know what I mean?
I'll be honest, I prefer a video store over Redbox.
Agreed. I do enjoy Redbox if you just want a movie for a day. Yeah. I don't like the fact that you charge you more every freaking day if you don't have the time to watch it. I don't like that.
And also, Family Video has free kids rentals.
A valid point. A very valid point. Like, I think it was the last time I used Redbox was when I saw La La Land, because I wanted to finally see it. By the way, I'm a musical person.
No!
Can I finish my sentence?
Yeah, sorry.
I'm a musical person. Okay, people listening to this might not know this. Okay. I don't talk about it much.
Oh, sorry. We'll just edit that out.
Yeah. So, I'm a musical person, and I finally got to see La La Land because I didn't have time to see it in theaters. That is not a good movie. It is not good. I don't understand the hype of that movie. It is not good.
Well, maybe it's because it's probably a musical that's not based off of a Broadway show.
And I give credit, and that's one of the main reasons I wanted to see it.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
I'm not burping into the microphone.
Sorry.
That's one of the main reasons I wanted to see it, was because it was original. And how often do you get an original show in a movie in theaters and it becoming a big deal? Because the last time was, Chicago or Les Mis, and it's actually the fact that it's a big deal. It's an original concept. So I watch it, and I'm bored. And this is coming from me. I'm bored watching a musical. And I'm like, what the hell's going on in this movie? And it's like, I enjoy some of the songs. I don't understand the hype. I maybe it's overhyped. I don't get the hype. I don't understand why it's such a big deal.
It's kind of like how I was with Rocky the first time I saw it. But then again, I probably wasn't in the right frame of mind to enjoy it.
Rocky Minute. Now I'm part of the Movie Minute franchise, by the way.
Yeah, basically, La La Land is the musical world's answer to Batman versus Superman. Hyped up like it was the second coming of Jesus, but a crushing disappointment for everyone involved.
You know what it is, though, with Batman vs. Superman? A lot of people went into it thinking it was going to be bad anyway, though.
Yeah.
Where La La Land, it was this big deal, and then we have the whole La La Land Moonlight incident at the Oscars and everything else, and it's like, hey, why was it such a big deal? Like, I don't get it.
Wouldn't be the first time the Academy gave an award to a mediocre film.
Well, it's Moonlight, not La La Land. So, you gotta give it that much, but still.
I'm sorry, Spotlight was one of those films in recent years that actually deserved the Best Picture.
Okay, I'll give you that one. Yeah. We've had this discussion in our Oscar specials all the time that I don't see a lot of the movies that are nominated anymore. I just don't have the time or want to see these movies anymore. And unless we somehow one day in this weird world we're in end up being able to get like the DVDs sent to us,
or
screeners, or like getting the free screener or something, I'm never going to see half these movies.
Well, one of the Well, one of the theaters near us actually used to do one of those things where they would always show like the marathon. But again, this was before they expanded it
to 10 and all this weird stuff that they do now, and I don't know.
They could probably still pull it off if it were a 2-day event.
Maybe. Or an all-day thing where you get in there. Well, remember, they do those weird marathons of, like, the Harry Potter movies and all that kind of stuff. They start at, like, 8 a.m., and then they go all day and all night, but they do have, like, dinner options at that hood, things like that, and they give you, like, a half hour between movies if you got to go to the bathroom, stuff like that, and things like that, intermissions and all kind of stuff.
Perfect time to order Pizza Hut.
There was a time, and this is I think this is phase 1. Yeah. Not now, because there's way too many movies now, but during phase 1, they did, for the Avengers, they did a screening of all the movies leading up to the Avengers in marathon form. Which makes sense for the Avengers, because it was perfectly set up for that. You know what I mean? But, like, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time in one theater. You know? It's like when we saw Newsies, I appreciated the intermission. Like, I really appreciated the intermission built into Newsies. So, anyway, we really went off there. Back over here. Back to shit getting real. Our impatient customer, as we noted, is annoyed because he can't return his movie. And I love the non-distinguishable black box, by the way. We have no idea what this movie is because they don't have the rights to show us what the movie is.
Even that, well, considering the fact that RSTs fold them, that's probably how they did that.
Oh, true. A valid point. A very valid point.
So for all we know, you could have a porno in there.
We'll get to that next week. We actually have a guest for that minute. We'll get to that next week. Anyway, he says it's not a demanding job. I have to. I'm just going to admit something. I worked at a Hollywood Video for a little while. Yeah. It ain't that demanding of a job. It really isn't. We got to watch movies. We got to hang out. It was what it was.
It seems to be. I was going to say, I actually wish I had that job.
I didn't last there long. That's a story I'm not getting into on the air. But fuck it. It's been a long time. I'll explain on the air. So fuck it. It's been over a decade. Yeah. A lot of it's been over a decade. Actually, this is closer to 2 decades old now. So when I worked there, I worked there after I left the Meadowlands. I went to Hollywood Video to get a job because my buddy Joe worked there. And he's like, well, come in, I'll give you a reference. I've been here for a while, and I'll get your reference, get you in. They hired me on right away because of him. Very cool. Little did I know, there was this whole thing going on in the background because Joe transferred stores. When he hired me on, he transferred stores just so we didn't hang out all day long. I don't really blame them for that because we're really close. He transferred stores, and I was here in Garfield Hollywood Video. I don't even think it's still there anymore. So I find out through some weird background thing that there was an internal theft going on. That one of the managers was stealing DVDs. And they were looking for a scapegoat. Hi, my name is Scapegoat.
I thought your name was Blake.
Yeah, I was the scapegoat. And the only time I've ever been fired from a job was something I did not even do. I had nothing to do with this whole thing. It ended up being expunged from my record after they found out the truth behind this whole thing. But that's how I ended up getting fired from Hollywood Video because of something I didn't even fucking do. Yay. So,
please tell me the manager paid for it.
He got fired. I think he went to jail after all that. He was in jail last time I checked. Though. That's been over a decade now, but still. I was like, a lot of time's passed. Why not tell that story? So this guy's annoyed. Doesn't have a name. He wants to know. I love this one. I walked in there and I caught him sleeping. I caught that son of a bitch sleeping. That does not surprise me whatsoever with Randall at all.
I'll be quite honest, it's not a demanding job. God, I would love a job that's not demanding right now.
That's true. Very, very true. Manual labor sucks, people. Let's just be honest here. That son of a bitch was sleeping. I love Dante defending his friend. No, he wasn't sleeping.
Yeah.
He was resting his eyes.
What? He's like an air traffic controller? That's his night job.
That's a great Watchhouse response.
Great. Can you picture Randall doing air traffic controlling?
No.
Oh, God.
No. I lived at the airport for 6.5 years practically. And no, I know people up in that tower. He ain't one of them. I guarantee you. He ain't one of them.
I could just see him letting a plane crash because the captain liked the Star Wars prequels.
We're having an argument over that. Oh, fuck! Shit!
Yeah.
Oh, I was about to make a Clerks 2 reference. I'll save it for that.
I was gonna say, oh dear God, it could be like it would probably be something like that scene in Die Hard.